So, Krishna. Everyone very much welcome, especially those who are taking initiation. But all the other Vaishnavas are also essential, because after all, the whole event, the whole ceremony depends on blessings. So all of you are here to somehow bless the occasion, so we thank you very much for that. A Vaishnava, whether great or small, is the carrier of blessings, because somehow or other, willingly or unwillingly, we have done some devotional service. And because we've done some devotional service, Krishna, he is known as Achyuta, or the one who never fails to appreciate the smallest service. So therefore, whatever little service we have done, Krishna appreciates. And as a result, we all have some credit with Krishna. And therefore, Vaishnavas can actually get blessings. So we are very fortunate that the Vaishnavas have assembled and we pray that they may all wish all the initiates perfection in their sankalpa, in their objective. The sankalpa in this ceremony is our objective, what we are trying to attain through this sacrifice. And clearly, the aim is to attain pure devotional service. Clearly, the aim is to go back to Godhead. Clearly, the aim is to somehow or other be always engaged in Krishna's transcendental service, 24 hours a day, either here or in the spiritual world. Doesn't matter so much. But ultimately, Krishna takes his devotees back to the spiritual world, because deep in their hearts, every devotee desires to be with Krishna. So even when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, Janmani Janmani Sware Bhavatat Bhakti Raita Kitvari, that many lives I'm praying for many births in this world so that I may be able to preach the glories of this movement of devotional service. Still, Krishna knows that in the heart of hearts, a devotee has the desire to go back to the spiritual world, and therefore, sooner or later, will take the devotee back. So we're praying that all those who are sitting in the sacrifice may go back to Godhead at the end of this lifetime. We're also praying that all the other Vaishnavas who are here will also go back to Godhead at the end of this lifetime. And even the Vaishnavas who are not here, that they may also go back to Godhead. And that's no problem. We'll make new Vaishnavas somehow or another. Because it's not difficult. The words making a devotee are a little artificial. Because actually everyone is a devotee. God used to say, some know and some don't. That is all. But everyone is a devotee. And therefore it's just a matter of reawakening what is natural. And that is the foundation of today's ceremony. I wanted to first perform the Achman ceremony. So you're all having an Achman cup where you're sharing it. In the back of the box. Alright, so what we can do is first you chant the mantra Om Amavitra Pavitroga Sarvavasta Gadopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksam Sabaya Vyantara Suchi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Then we take the Ajman cup and put 3 drops in the, take the spoon in the right hand, take. Okay. Then the first initiates, they should have neck beads, and we should change the neck beads. Because we're changing the neck beads, because we're beginning a new life. From this initiation is sometimes known as a new birth. So, new birth means a totally new beginning. So the change is not artificial, because we come into the sacrifice as the result of our karma, which has been accrued over many, many births. Please, Maharaj, then say a few blessing words. And then we open Maharaj with the seat. Simple seat, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, very happy to be here on this wonderful festive occasion. Many wonderful new devotees, and officially during Kadamba Kanana Swami, the Goshala Kadamba Kanana. Yesterday we were hearing from Maharaj about renunciation and the significance of the responsibility, making this wonderful connection. And we were taking first one renunciation, second. And we were taking first, and some were taking second initiation. Very wonderful, very nice. Thank you for coming forward, serving Srila Prabhupada, especially here in Vrindavan, this holy place. You're making your vows here today, and from Srila Prabhupada and by Chant and Vrindavan. And this will be very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is our social group. We're just simply trying to serve them on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. It's spread the family, Srila Prabhupada's family, is this one family. Krishna consciousness family, is this preaching Krishna consciousness means simply to reconnect with Krishna, the whole part and parcel of Krishna, and who we think we are. The constitution is part and parcel of Krishna, so initiations. Literally, we could say literal meaning is the beginning, and also the incarnation of transcendental knowledge. And transcendental knowledge is that we actually exist for the pleasure of Krishna. We try to bear that in mind and take the step forward now. I should stay with you, I have to go to another program. This is the whole meaning of our movement, just reconnecting everything with Krishna. It's a diksha connection from Bhagavad, initial connection. So please take seriously the Bhaktivedanta and instruction of the spiritual masters. I'm sure we sufficiently invite from Maharaj and represent Srila Prabhupada so nicely, preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world. Srila Prabhupada came here from Vrindavan to New York on this mission. Maybe who knows what's going on inside. Indicated sometimes that, when America didn't really expect it. The American people will take this Krishna consciousness. It's almost inconceivable. And actually most of you are from, some of you from Indian backgrounds, some from other backgrounds. From Malaysia or something, people from India, and that's things. I'm okay. I don't need all this. I have my food. It's not the point. The purpose of life is not just to make a comfort zone. The purpose of life is to actually reconnect with Krishna. To surrender the nature of the soul, and surrender simply means to live only for the pleasure of Krishna. An artificial position is the nature of the soul. It's to reawaken. Initiation is to help us, if you take it seriously, to help us to realize who we actually are, and what our constitution is. We have only one real business in life. Simply, we have no other purpose of existence except to please Krishna. And the Guru is trying to teach us this. Prabhupada is sincere about this, teaching us how we can exist in this material world, how we can exist in deep compassion of Krishna. See everything in relationship with Krishna. I wish you all very good details and chanting holy name, etc., which is a key practical activity. Cultivating pure chanting, exposing ourselves to the pure sound vibration, purifying our hearts of all the various canals, these false identities, bodies, etc., cleansing with your own name. Then you could be happy. How many of you want to be happy? Does anyone want to be happy? Yeah, nothing. Isn't it? I hope about the people know happiness is. Do you want to be happy? No? Do you understand English? No. Every living entity by nature is another one of self-assertion, and it's the nature of the soul. It's the point comes from Krishna. Krishna is the reservoir of pleasure. So it's our nature to be happy. But people don't know it. We think that, spiritual life, no sense enjoyment. Not for me. Get that. And even if we're some kind of a devotee, it's often kind of a watered down thing, a comfort zone type of lifestyle. And, what to do? We have to let go of that eventually and realize happiness means Krishna's happiness. Don't sacrifice everything for us. Which I mean, it's simple. You're living here in Vrindavan, 70 years old. Who want to leave Vrindavan and go to a foreign country? Crazy people. We think we're like a prime of human society, the most civilized people who ever existed in eternity. We inheritance, the most advanced creature that has ever existed in eternity. That the love is going to be totally animalistic, uncivilized creatures. Literally, with no understanding at all of reality. Thinking illusion. Nothing can be distinguished illusion from love. We've got to live by it, not just pass ambiguity. We're going to live our lives like that, so as much as we can. Then we can be happy. It's an amazing thing when we connect with Krishna. Krishna is a reservoir of happiness, and we can be happy. When we're separated from Krishna, how can we be happy if we're separated from our body, for instance? Heart and thoughts of Krishna. Is always being connected. So this is the most significant factor of reconnecting with Krishna. At this day, it's seriously. We look forward to serving all of you in the future in some little way, maybe from a distance. I have great faith in Kadamba Kanana Swami. She's a great deal. Brother, friend. And I think we can do a little service to bring you closer to Krishna in the future. Krishna. Thank you all very much. We hope the ceremony goes ahead with ever more and more deepness and sincerity and pleasure and seriousness. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Braj. And on behalf of Braj, I want to Janananda Braj has in the last 2 years, taken responsibility for the French yatra, and is now residing in Montmartre in France. And things are really flourishing there, so you should really visit Montmartre in France. On behalf of Maharaj, I give you all an open invitation. You can come anytime. No problem. Visit Maharaj.
I hope you can all walk nicely and maybe walk a little while. You're welcome. Prabhupada was very, very great host in the house. It's actually the only temple and the complex in Europe, which is still, let's say, used, I guess, from which you're talking about, other than England. Other than that, this is the only, in the whole of Europe, the only place. It's very amazing. Probably installed Krishna Balaram now. It's the only other temple at that time other than Vrindavan. Where probably installed Krishna Balaram. Very, very special. Going to tell you Krishna Balaram later on, rather than the installed, not like this. He also installed a lot of parishes for in Paris. And Prabhupada said Paris is the most, in all of Europe, he said it's the most important city, more than London. Most cultural place. He considered France the central Western culture, whatever it is. But he had great hopes, Krishna consciousness being everywhere, and if you speak French, especially if you speak French. I didn't listen to this. Say no more. I'll leave it up to you. Hare Krishna. But if you do like to come, please, nourish. It's good to have a nice 60-room guest house now. More or less little. It's quite livable by our standards. So, thank you all very, very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What's that?
Krishna's monkeys and working and he guided them in. And to get that, what do you get? Banana? Banana. Take it positive. Hare Krishna. Put another banana there. Jai, well, goes to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we'll carry on, and that is the nice thing about Vrindavan. It's filled with saintly personalities, and it is described that the Dham is very important because the Dham is non-different from the spiritual world. But it's that still more important than visiting the Holy Dham is to connect with the saintly persons who reside in the holy land. So, in this way, they just walk in, either in the form of Swami or in the form of monkey. But all saintly, in different forms they appear. Because we know that the monkeys in Vrindavan are also special personalities. But we especially are happy when the sannyasis come, because they come and give us divya jnana. Our actually was speaking about that. Was speaking about initiation. We gave the explanation of the Latin word initiation, which means to make a beginning. He also gave an explanation of the Sanskrit word diksha, where he explained that it means to pass on divya jnana, transcendental knowledge. And in this way to make sambandha, to make the connection, to a connection with the parampara, the connection with Krishna, and ultimately the connection with ourselves. Because in the Nectar of Devotion, it is said that you cannot know yourself without Krishna. Just as you cannot see yourself without the light of the sun. So in the same way, you cannot know yourself without Krishna. But that is very interesting because we all thought we knew ourselves quite well by now. You look in the mirror in the morning and think, yeah, same old, familiar, I know you very well, I know you inside out. But maybe not. Maybe there is a part in us that we don't know at all. But that part will manifest in the relationship with Krishna. It is there where our identity becomes uncovered. So today, this initiation is like, in a way, an uncovering of an identity, another identity, not the old one. The old one, whatever it was, had its good sides and bad sides, because it was related to karma. And there was good karma and bad karma. In that way, there were good elements in the old identity. And there were also bad elements in the old identity. But now, we're taking a step into our eternal identity, the identity of being a servant of Krishna. And in this way, it takes some time to fully wake up. We still carry some of the old identity in our memory, even after the initiation. It's not just a magic touch, but it grows. It grows over time. It grows on us, that new identity. Jivera Sarupaya Krishna Nityadas. The original position of all living beings is to be the eternal servant of Krishna. And that, of course, is the purpose of the initiation. The first initiation is to go a different course, a change of direction in life, where we have, for a long time, life after life, for a long time we have been life after life trying to enjoy the material world, trying to lord it over the material world, and we forgot Krishna for a very long time. Then, by good fortune, the devotees came into our life, and then Krishna consciousness began. Now, at the time of initiation, we're making that commitment and say, Krishna, I'm yours. And maybe we had already in a way done that. But still, now we formally say so. So that is one part of the initiation, where the devotee goes before Krishna and gives himself or herself as the property of Krishna and reaching up with an offering. The other aspect of the initiation is the mercy coming down from Krishna. Krishna is desiring that all living beings in the material world go back to Godhead. Krishna is patiently waiting. Krishna knows, he knows that stubbornness is a difficult quality to deal with. And every living being in the material world is stubborn. Here in Vrindavan, we used to sit in Bhagavatam class, and there were many ants on the floor in the temple room, and some of these ants were quite big, and they could bite. So you see this big ant coming with tweezers on the nose and coming straight at you, so what you say is, okay. So what we used to do when the ant was too close, and with the finger, we sent the ant back. Yeah. And then that ant would just turn around and come straight back. It means the ants are stubborn. They're stubborn. They have fixed their mind of where they want to go, and you send them back, oh no, they're not going back. They're coming straight back, same direction. Okay, then we tried to confuse them, and then when we came back second time, we sent them to our neighbor. And this we had very entertaining Bhagavatam lectures, because everyone was just sending these ends everywhere. We kept awake, we didn't sleep. Anyhow, but it shows the stubbornness, even in small living beings. And the stubbornness is there in all of us. And so it is a great step where we say, Krishna, I am yours. Now to what extent we can actually make such a commitment from the heart, that is more matter. But at least we're saying it. And Krishna, he will accept. And then later on we think, no, I didn't mean it, too bad. He accepted it. So Krishna will accept very eagerly. Krishna is extending his mercy, and the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. It is said he is here on behalf of Krishna, Saksat Parikrama Samasta Sasturu Prasthatava Vyapya. We're singing every day, and that all scriptures say that the spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. Now, as a representative of Krishna, he is manifest in different ways. First of all, he is there to formally represent Krishna. And that means Krishna is working through him. Krishna's made this system of Guru Parampara. Krishna is therefore using the spiritual master as a tool. Krishna may speak through him. Krishna may do things through him. And so knowledge comes down, and we are offering things to the spiritual master. And the spiritual master will say how to offer, what to offer, at which particular point in time. And in that way, it becomes personalized. In the Nectar of Devotion, when the topic of servitorship is described, there are two types of servitorship described. One is general servitorship, just dasyam, where we are in the mood of a servant, as I said at the beginning, Krishna Nichadas. And the other is that we serve as a personal attendant, kinkar, a personal attendant. So personal attendant has to serve according to the circumstances. It's different. The need in the morning is different than the need in the evening. So according to the need in the winter is different than the need in the summer. It's nice to turn on the fan in the summer. In the winter, we don't want it. like this, the personal attendant has to be much more conscious and much more careful to serve according to the desire of the spiritual master. So in this way, we are trying to serve the spiritual master as a personal attendant. It is for that reason, of course, one could say that we are practicing on the spiritual master. And he gradually takes us to Krishna. And when we are qualified, then he also allows us to serve Krishna directly. Even in the second initiation, he allows us to go on the altar and to serve Krishna directly. Yeah. So yes, we can try out on the spiritual master. It's like someone who cannot cook can first cook with Krishna. Okay. A little less salt next time. Until it's suitable for Krishna. So it's fun to be a spiritual master. So the Prabhupada said that all his disciples should become spiritual masters. So I will repeat the same. And shouldn't take that lightly. We should just really try. And some may be Diksha, some may be Siksha, but they are meant to be spiritual teachers. So the first initiation then is when we change the course of our life formally, and we commit our life, and the flow of mercy is going. We are directing ourselves towards Krishna, and the mercy is coming down. So two streams, one of offerings upwards, and another one of mercy coming downwards. That is a healthy connection. Then it carries on, and we prepare for the second initiation. Whereas in the first initiation, we're vowing about things not to do and things to do. The vows basically deal with that. Some things we do, some things we don't do. The second initiation is not just about what we do, it's about developing qualities. There is samodhanastako saucham sankir ajvam evacha jnanam vijnanastikam dhamakam svabhatam. It is explained that the qualities by which the Brahmanas were, qualities of the mode of goodness. Sama, to be equipoised. So whatever happens, to sort of, okay, remain nirapeksha, to remain unaffected, to remain fixed. The real meaning of sama is not that we are always in the same mood, and that everyone has to be now, cannot show too much enthusiasm or too much expression. That would not be sama. Sama would be to be always the same. No, that's not the right understanding. Sama simply means to always remain fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. And nothing will change that. That is equal state of mind. So many things will happen. In the middle of an intense meeting at work, okay, Krishna. Krishna is there. Krishna is always there with us. Where are you all from? Delhi? Okay. Don't sit in front of the door, that is never a good idea. Welcome. We're happy you're all here. You all have to give blessings. So we are in the second initiation. We're looking at qualities, and equanimity is a quality that no matter what happens, we will not lose our Krishna consciousness. Happiness, distress will come, but somehow or other, we won't lose our intelligence. That is the point. That we see, all right, the conditions in the material world are sometimes very difficult, but I still should keep the eternal goal in mind. The conditions in the material world are sometimes very nice, oh yes, so sweet, but I should keep the eternal goal in mind. That means sama. Damas means sense control, samadhanas. Tapa means to be prepared to perform some austerity. Of course, related to devotional service. So Chant, to be clean, internally and externally. I always say this, Santi, to be tolerant. To be tolerant is another thing. Because so many things are going to happen which we do not desire. And then we have to be tolerant to somehow say, okay, anyway, I go on. Yeah. Someone dear to us is going to die. I'm sorry to say such a thing. It's not like a curse, but it's part of it. One day such thing will happen. That is the nature of the material world. And therefore, a Brahmana is already mentally prepared. He's already thought about it, that this will happen one day. And in one way it is natural that the parents go before the children, not the other way around. So if one day you have to face that, then you cannot just be, oh, how can this happen? This is something, we are aware that this will happen. So in this way, we are deeply rooted in knowledge, in a long-term vision, and already understanding that the happiness and the stress in the material world is there, and accepting it in its full depth. And therefore, we are tolerant. In this way, we're tolerant in knowledge. Arjavam. Arjavam means to be simple. It also means to be honest, because to be honest means to be simple. When we start to pretend and start to weave a whole network of pretense, yes, then life becomes very complicated. Because you have to remember who you told which lie, you follow up and make sure that you tell everyone the same lie consistently, even the internet. Okay. Complicated. Anyway, you all know that's the network of lying. So, Arjavam, simplicity, is mentioned. I have to start again from the beginning. Some of them must go to Jnanam, knowledge, Jnanam. So we should have knowledge. See, it's Jnana Yoga Vistitaha. Now we should cultivate knowledge, because without knowledge, we cannot stay on the transcendental platform. Without knowledge, we cannot stay on the transcendental platform. Without knowledge, we get swept away. Because we are after all only sadhakas. Sadhakas means we're only practitioners. We're not perfect. If we would be perfect, that would be easy. But because we're not perfect, we do get swept away. And then it takes knowledge to hold us back. We do feel that sometimes it's too much, or not enough. And there's no doubt that that's because we are not perfect. It's said when you are in Krishna praying, then you are in a unique position because there's nothing lacking. Nothing. Everything is right. I don't know if it's for you like that, but for me, no. And so sometimes I have to take shelter of knowledge. Like there's a man selling drums, and he has chosen of all places to sell it under my window. And every 10 minutes he bangs on the drum. Gently. And then, because we are all here today, he has moved here to the Goshala. I just saw him. He welcomed me with a drum. I gave him a look. But then I thought, he probably won't understand why I'm looking at him like that. Anyway, the material world can be difficult sometimes. All the noise, the heat, the this, the that, so many things can agitate us. So that's when we take shelter of knowledge. Knowledge simply means we have to preach to ourselves. We have to argue with ourselves. The mind is with us, and the mind is just responding. Nice, not nice, mind. And we just with the intelligence are constantly reminding the mind, all right, mind, calm down. There's no point now in getting all worked up about it. Just be challenged like this. So that is all part of the second initiation. And the more knowledge we have, the more transcendental knowledge, the more easy it will be. And then vidya. Then we get also realization. And that realization is when we are living the knowledge. We have knowledge and we live by the knowledge. And then we get realization, we get practical experience of what it's like. We get some of the results that are described in the scriptures. And in that way, it becomes more and more easy for us. In spiritual life, gradually we come to the advanced stages of spiritual life, where spiritual life is just very nice. It says, first, Goshala, then Sadhu Sango, then Bhajana Kriya, Nartanavriti. First, initial faith. Yes, this is right. Then, in the association of devotees, they are going to tell you, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Then, we begin to follow, we adopt the process of devotional service. Bhajana Kriya. Initiation is also part of that. And then, Anartanavriti, the purification takes place. And then, Nistha, firm determination, where we say, where we want spiritual life more than material life. And then, the next stage, Ruchi, taste. Really. At that stage, we become very inspired. So that's the idea. And that is obviously what we want for everybody. We don't want people to just, this is not a ceremony where the main message is, and make sure you do your duty. That is not the main point. Yes, of course, we have a duty and we must do, but the main point is that come and discover the wonderful taste. Come and explore the taste that is there in giving, the taste that is there in devotional service. Come and explore Krishna. Come and explore his qualities, his pastimes, his nature, the holy Dham. Come and explore the kirtan, explore prasadam, explore the Bhagavatam. Collect the jewels from the scriptures and see how many nice things there are. Discover, meet the acharyas, each one of them. They're all going to be present today. We're chanting their names in various mantras and they are present. Let's meet them. Who are they? Let's find out who they are. And as we're finding out who these acharyas are, then let's go to the places where they lived or where their samadhis are, where they worshipped, and let us pray there, because there is special mercy, and let us collect some dust. Like I have some dust from under Rupa Goswami's samadhi, in the little glass tube. Not bad. Nice thing to have. I like it. So let's become eager, let's collect all the mercy. So there's so much to do. We've come to Vrindavan, we're making a relationship with Vrindavan, relationship with Mayapur, relationship with Jagannath Puri. Oh yes, all these relationships we must make. And then with all the different personalities, Bhaktivedanta, what did he write? Or what did he do in his life? Who's Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur? Who is he actually? All these things are there to discover. So, there's a lot to do. It's not just about, did you read the Bhagavatam? Yeah. It's like, yesterday I was speaking to Madhurya, I forgot, Madhurya something, sorry. But it was a great class, and he asked the devotees, who read part of the Bhagavatam? He said only few devotees raised their hands. I said, the rest must have read the whole Bhagavatam. But that's, of course, we should read the whole Bhagavatam. Some spiritual masters, Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, that's his prerequisite for first initiation. If you want to get first initiation, you must read the whole Bhagavatam first. I let you off on that one, but you have to catch up quick after that. Because I will not before, but after, you better roll up the sleeves and get into it. You have to read that Bhagavatam, the whole thing. All the 12 cantos, all 12 cantos. Yeah, but to read the Bhagavatam. It is, we live with the Bhagavatam. And the Bhagavatam is actually teaching us on how to live. So the aim of the second initiation goes still a step further. It's not the idea to just become a Brahmana. The candidates will later on come with me to my room, and I'll give them their Gayatri mantras peacefully. And then we can see that the idea is that we are shifting our focus from asking Krishna, from worshipping Krishna in this world. And when you read the Bhagavad Gita, you're basically seeing that Arjuna is acting out the role of a conditioned soul. And he's in this world. He's struggling, he's caught up in a battlefield. I mean, it's pretty bad situation. He goes through a big internal crisis. So Arjuna, then Krishna gives him instructions of how to go to a transcendental platform while he's being overwhelmed in this world. And eventually it sort of refers to the spiritual world and so on, but a lot of instructions are dealing with this world. Like, for example, the three modes of material nature are described and what the qualities are of the three modes of material nature. So this is all dealing with conditioned souls, and our conditioned souls are meant to connect to Krishna. But that's not the perfection of spiritual life. We want to come to the point of not just praying, oh Krishna, please help me. Oh Krishna, please give me strength. Oh Krishna, help me to chant 16 rounds so they can do it for your pleasure. Oh Krishna, Krishna, oh Krishna. Not that we're always asking Krishna to help us in this life, in this world, to practice our devotional service. But ultimately we have to come to the point where we say, this world, it's an old broken car. Like you have seen the ambassador. The ambassador is already broken when it comes out of the factory. We had a new ambassador, and on the first ride, the engine caught fire. Anyway, screws fall out on the first day. I don't want to blaspheme the ambassador, but realization. I'm speaking from They are very tricky monkeys. It's suddenly strike. So the ambassador, as an example of a broken car that always needs to be fixed, constantly. Material life is like that. You fix one side, and the other side is broken. There will be always something broken. That's material life. I mean, if anyone thinks they're going to fix material life, dreaming. I'm sorry to break the hard news and pop the bubble, but that's an illusion. The material world cannot be fixed. Things can be improved a little bit, but you can't win. See, you close the windows to keep the monkeys out, and then you suffocate. That's what you do. So like this, there's always some struggle. So material life, we leave it, and we just go to spiritual life and say, it's about Krishna and his world. It's about his pastimes, not about my pastimes, and oh Krishna, please help me in my pastimes. No, Krishna, can I help you in your pastimes? Krishna, can I make an offering in your pastimes? So ultimately, we go from the beginning of spiritual life to that more advanced stage of realizing that we are residents of the spiritual world. And the second initiation is in a way giving us entrance into the spiritual world. We go on the altar. That is the spiritual world. We begin to serve Krishna in his world. We serve him on the altar. Just like the gopis do. We do all these things. Fanning the chakras. What do you think they have in the spiritual world? Chakras. Same thing. So in this way, the altar is the spiritual world. We're getting entrance there. But we're not yet qualified. We do it by regulative principles. In this way. But of course, the first and foremost service is chanting Hare Krishna. The nectar of devotion, based on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, describes Krishna as Akila Rasamrita Murti in the beginning. He is the one who has complete relationships with all devotees, with every living being. It's an intimate relationship. But for that relationship to flourish, we must remember Krishna and serve Krishna. Otherwise, if we forget that relationship, then we are conditioned souls. Krishna still cares about us, but we are conditioned souls and we forget. We forget Krishna. So now, our aim is that one should become, in order to become fully qualified to enter into that relationship with Krishna, one should be Anyamila Sunyam Jnana Karmani Anaditam Anukuyena Krishna Shilanam Bhakti. That is the next verse. One should come to pure devotional service, give up all other desires, and simply act favorably to please Krishna. So that is our objective. Then it describes, when we take up devotional service, we are not immediately on pure devotional service, but we take up the process of pure devotional service. And what is happening? Klesakni. Klesakni means all the suffering becomes diminished. It begins to diminish. That means karma gets burned up, not all at once. And things become auspicious, subhada. We are getting moksha we get greater benefit than one gets from liberation, because we get the taste of devotional service. It is sudurlabha, it is rarely attained. Then devotional service becomes gradually more dense. You know, you do a little service, and then you think, oh, now I deserve an hour break. It's so much service. Hour break. Then again do little service. Another break. Again little service. We always interrupt our service. It gradually becomes more dense. Janananda we say. Then Avyakta Kalatvam, we cannot waste the moment. And finally, devotional service becomes, on the topmost platform, Sri Krishna Akarsani, that it can capture Krishna. All devotional service captures Krishna, but Radharani's devotional service can capture Krishna completely. So in this way, we are changed. So then the nectar of devotion continues and says that we should practice. And there are 64 limbs of bhakti. One of those initial limbs is we take initiation. It's not a question, shall I or shall I not? No, we should take initiation. Because that will push us forward. Then we should serve the spiritual master. Like a menial servant. So that we learn to become a servant. So that we can render service to Krishna. And then there are many injunctions about worshipping the deity of Krishna. One should not be angry in front of the deity. One should not cry about misery in front of the deity. One should just approach Krishna. Of course, when you can't help it, what can you do better? You go to Krishna anyway. But one should follow the processions that are there. Whenever the deities pass, one should follow. One should offer fruits and vegetables of the season to Krishna. One should observe special days such as Janananda and other deities. One should avoid 10 offenses, should not blaspheme devotees, should understand that the names of the demigods are not the same as the name of Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu only can give us liberation, and Krishna can only give us love of God, of Goshala. We should not disobey the order of the spiritual master. So, if the order of the spiritual master then is so difficult to follow, then we should not just ignore it, we should take it up with him, rather than disobeying him. He's a human being, we can speak to him. Take his shelter, discuss. We should respect all Vedic literatures. So even there are literature, but especially we care about the literature about Krishna and about devotional service, the Bhakti Shastras. Then we should consider that the holy name, we should not think that the glories of the holy name are imaginary. It's not just a mantra. The holy name is Krishna. So therefore Krishna is unlimited. He can do anything. So the power of the holy name is unlimited. Not to commit sinful activities in the strength of the holy name, thinking now I'm chanting Hare Krishna, so it's okay, I'll anyway be purified. No, then Krishna will withdraw from the holy name. Not to think that the chanting is karma kanda, that is a ritual that will fix the problems of material life. Karma kanda, or let us do some ritual that nothing may happen. No, that's not the chanting. The chanting is, let us please Krishna and simply pray for his mercy. To preach Krishna consciousness, intimate topics to faithless persons, we should not do. Bhagavad Gita, yes. You can tell everyone chant Hare Krishna. And then tends to maintain material attachments, even after receiving so many instructions in this subject matter. Yeah. If we invest in our material desires outside of the limits of Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness allows for material desires. But if we take up sinful habits, then that will hold us back in our spiritual advancement. But still, even then, it is powerful. And even then, even when we are fallen, cannot forget Krishna. So these are all mentioned as part of the 64 limbs of devotional service, even avoiding these 10 offenses. And there are some more. And then the 5 most important limbs of getting pure devotional service are mentioned as Bhagavat, Shravan, Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Mathura Vas, to reside in the Holy Dham. So if you can't live in the Holy Dham, then at least start thinking of the Holy Dham as home. This is home, sweet home, and in other places we are tourists. So if you live somewhere else, because you're all from different countries, if you live somewhere else, wherever you are, you're just a tourist there. You live here, Vrindavan. Let us think like that. And then, Srimurti Shravya Seva, with great faith to serve the Murti of Krishna. Sadhu Sangha, to always associate with the devotees, serve them, glorify them, and finally, Nam Kirtan, to chant the holy name, both in japa and kirtan. And that chanting should be there every day in our life. And then these last 5 are the 5 principal limbs known as Panchanga Bhakti. And from them, we very quickly get the benefit of devotional service. And in that way, we will very quickly develop Krishna prema. That's what the Nectar devotion is telling us. First 19 chapters, Eastern division, very nice. As of late, I'm asking devotees who take first initiation to read these 19 chapters of the Nectar devotion after the initiation. Because it's like a handbook of what you're supposed to do. It's very nice. It's very practical. It just makes the whole package of how we cultivate pure devotional service. It's there. So, I'm teaching that in my board in Bhakti Shastri. And done it for so many years, and it's really very important. Okay, and I'm coming to my conclusion. It's a long lecture. Plus, if it was too long, then you could practice tolerance. That's always good. It's definitely easier to talk than to hear. So we'll now start to take the vows. Move back a little so there's space for opening voices. You go down the line. You can make full flat raises. Before I get to that, so what are the 4 regulated principles you promise to follow for the rest of your life? What do you think? And the meeting team, can you specify it a little more indeed? Usually we say no meat, fish or eggs.
Only fish or eggs.
And then how many rounds you promise to chant every day? I like the minimum. That's very good. So I found a name which is of one of the sons of Krishna, a name of the son of Krishna and Rukmini. And I think it is a nice name. It's not only that it is a nice name, but it's a great blessing to have that. So your name will be Charuvinda Das. Charuvinda means the one who possesses many beautiful transcendental qualities. We inherited them from Krishna. So we also pray that by serving such personalities, we'll get these qualities. Charuvinda. Hare Krishna. So Charuvinda lives in Dubai, and Joachim lives in Germany. And he has many names. So today you'll get one more. And all the names are nice, because all the names have some spiritual meaning. So what are the four names you promise to follow for the rest of the year?
The show will be like, to make a success, to make execution, and to make
And how many rounds do you promise to chant every day? 60. Okay. Then I'll give you a name, which is the name of a great personality. He is the spiritual master of the demigods. The spiritual master of the demigods is obviously not an ordinary personality, obviously a great spiritual master. And he is known that he has completely conquered his speech to the point that he only speaks about matters related to the Supreme Lord. That's a great personality to serve. Because by serving someone, you get also the qualities of that person. So by getting a name like that, you might also do that qualities. You don't speak Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So from this day on, your name will be Jita Girish Das. We're actually living in Delhi. And Delhi is a special place because Hastinapur is somewhere nearby. And Janananda is there. But in Klara we don't take care of it. Anyhow, may you be an inspiration to all the devotees. four regulative principles you promise to follow without fail.
No meat eating, including fish, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
And how many rounds are you promising to chant every day?
Minimum 16 rounds without food every day.
Then your name on this day on will be Samantra Das. So Samantra means always with the mantra. So that's quite a name. Yeah, to always chant Samantra Das. So in this way, one is always chanting Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming today. Very nice. And how many rounds every day? So, I've chosen a name which is based on a verse of Goswami. It is a very ecstatic verse. It is a verse that describes how the holy name is dancing on the tongue, and how that is so inspiring that one desires many tongues and many ears to hear all this chant. And the verse is beginning with the words Tunda Tanda Vini Pratim Tundavari Lapriti. Now that was a little long for a minute. Although I would like to give you a try. It wasn't practical, so I had to choose. So from this day on, you will be known as Tanda Vini Devida. So Martin is born in Bulgaria, but then he moved to Italy. So he's half Bulgarian, half Italian. He has been my personal assistant for a while, and it was really nice, and I appreciate it a lot. And he's not only taking initiation today, but he's also put on saffron cross today as an additional thing. So you may all bless him that he will be able to be a nice lunch. So, Martin, what are the four regulative principles you want us to follow for the rest of your life? You didn't do your business. He's a good manager. Now, when he was my servant, he was always reminding me of things I forgot, so he's still doing it. Also balance sheet. It's beautiful. So then, you can tell us the four principles you promise to follow for the rest of the life.
intoxication.
And how many rounds have you been?
And I promised to chant minimum 16 rounds.
So I thought I would give you the name of a sage. And there is a sage who is mentioned in the Ramayana. Lord Ramachandra visited his ashram just when he was in the Kiskindha forest coming to Vishamukha mountain. Then there was the ashram of a great sage. That sage, there are many stories to tell about that sage. One is that he was not born in a very exalted family, but he was very, very serious in becoming a great and purified soul. At first Indra didn't want to accept him, but his austerities were of such a nature, he was so serious, that he was accepted. And then he received this name. And the name that you will be known by now will be Matanga Das. And Matanga means the best of his kind. So that's not easy to live up to. So, some of these names are like that. You have to grow in them for the rest of your life. That's the spiritual. Rahul's. So Rahul is from Jewel Temple in Mumbai, and doing very nice service. All the senior devotees there told me, oh, Rahul, it's very nice. It's very good. And he's taking initiations together. And we also know that they're right. So, Rahul, wonderful elevated principles you promised to follow for the rest of your life.
No teaching, no text, no intoxication, no working. No fish, eggs, or milk curry.
How many rounds do you promise to chant?
No 15 rounds.
So, I've decided to give you a name that we chant in the morning. This is a name that we find in the songs of Bhaktivedanta Thakur. From this day on, you will be known as Rasa Parayana. I've also had that name for a while, as an extra, because I was, for a while, Kadamba Kanana Swami. I always wanted a long name, because my legal name is very short. Then felt my desire fulfilled. With sannyasis, it became just short. So this name, Rasa Parayana, is to be always absorbed. Parayana means absorbed in the mellows of love of God, devotional service. So it even means to be a deep, ecstatic devotee. Rasa Parayana. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So all the others are taking the second initiation, and that's also very nice. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, So then we will swaha, the 12 grains in the fire, and the hands would be like a cow, like a pig. So just with these two little fingers. Om Ajnana Janandasya Janandana Salakya Sakshu Mundritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurudev Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobhista Stapita Nena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamaya Karati Swaparantika Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupa Sagrijata Sahagana Raghunata Vita Tam Sajiva Sadvita Savaduta Parijana Saita Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakha Vitanscha Swaha 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Uttare Shrimate Kadamba Kanana Swami Dinamine Swaha 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Uttare Gurudasa Jayadvitan Swami Nityanamine Swaha 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Uttare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Tasyata Visatarine Swaha 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Te Namine Shri Varsavani Devi Daitaya Vipaktaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuruchvala Premaja Sirupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaurakarna Shakti Vigrahaya Vinatarine Rupanuga Virudapasiddhanta Mantaharine Swaha 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 Namo Urikishuraya Saksat Vairagya Mutaye Vipraramba Rasambude Padambujaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhaktivedanta Satsidananda Namine Guru Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Parayate Swaha 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 Guruvibhava Guneshva Yidishta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha 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 Panchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya Divacha Aditanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Maha Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Pura Krishna Namaha Swaha 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 Panchatattvamakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Swarupaka Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhya Namami Bhaktashaktikam Swaha 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 He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Upesa Upikakanta Radhakanta Namostute Swaha 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 Jayata Surato Pango Mama Manamati Yati Vatsavasva Adambojo Adamadana Mohana Swaha 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 Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadumada Shiva Ratnagara Simhasanasta Shiva Radha Shila Govinda Deva Stalive Sivyamano Smarami Swaha 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 Shima Rasa Rasarambe Vansivata Vastitaha Karsa Venushvane Gopi Gopinata Shriyesunaha Swaha 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 Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwavanu Sutta-devi Pranamami Haripriye Swaha 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Swaha 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha 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 Then everyone can stand up and take the banana between the two folders. Namo Namaya Devaya Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This place the Rama is the fire. Swaha Swaha Swaha.
Krishna Hare